At 2:30 in the morning, an elderly woman's heart monitor stopped transmitting data. There was no alert sent to the doctors, and there was no emergency signal sent to family members. The transmission simply ended. Just a few hours earlier, she had been dropped off safely at her home. She walked inside on her own, and she closed the door behind her. Her car remained parked in the driveway. Her phone, wallet, and medication were still inside the house. Nothing appeared missing. But sometime during the night, her home security camera stopped recording. Blood appeared on the front porch, and by morning, Nancy Guthrie was gone. There were no witnesses. There was no footage showing her leaving, and there was no evidence that she walked away voluntarily. This is not a story about confusion or misadventure. This is a story about a sudden disappearance that left behind more questions than answers. The disappearance of Nancy Guthrie stands out not because she vanished in a remote wilderness or a dangerous neighborhood, but because she vanished from the place where she should have been the safest. She disappeared from her own home. There were no warning signs leading up to that night, no signs of fear or distress, and no indication that she believed she was in danger. Instead, there was a normal evening, followed by an unexplained silence. As investigators would soon learn, the evidence left behind suggested that whatever happened to Nancy occurred quickly, quietly, and within a very narrow window of time. Nancy Long Guthrie was 84 years old at the time of her disappearance. She had lived in Tucson, Arizona for decades and knew the area well. She was described as mentally sharp and fiercely independent. Despite her age, she maintained her routines and valued her ability to live on her own. She attended church regularly, kept a tidy home, and remained closely connected to her family. She wasn't someone who missed appointments or disappeared without explanation. Nancy lived alone, but she was far from isolation. Family members checked in frequently, and neighbors were familiar with her daily habits. Physically, Nancy did have age-related health concerns. She relied on medication and wore a pacemaker that transmitted data remotely to monitor her heart. Because of this medical technology, her family believed that if something went wrong, they would know quickly. What they didn't expect was that the pacemaker's silence would become one of the most unsettling details of the case. On the evening of January 31st, Nancy spent time with her family members. Those who saw her that night reported nothing unusual about her mood or behavior. She didn't appear anxious. She didn't express fear. And she didn't mention any concerns about her safety. At approximately 9:45 p.m., Nancy was dropped off at her home. She exited the vehicle, walked to the door, and went inside. There was nothing dramatic about the moment. It was an ordinary end to an ordinary day. That moment would later be identified as the last confirmed sighting of Nancy Guthrie. Nancy was expected to attend church the following morning. It was part of her routine, and she rarely missed it. But when she failed to arrive, people noticed. When phone calls went unanswered, concern began to grow. Hours passed without any response. Messages remained unread. By the afternoon, Her absence no longer felt like a coincidence. Her family contacted authorities to request a welfare check. When deputies arrived at Nancy's home, they initially believed they were responding to a routine situation. They expected to find an elderly woman who might have been unwell or temporarily unreachable. Instead, they immediately noticed details that didn't make sense. Nancy's car was still parked outside, and the house had no signs of forced entry. Inside, her phone and personal belongings were still present. Nothing appeared packed or disturbed. Outside, however, investigators noticed blood on the front porch. The blood was later confirmed through testing to belong to Nancy. This discovery changed the nature of the case entirely. Inside the home, everything appeared deceptively normal. Furniture was in place, personal items were undisturbed, and there were no signs of a struggle inside the house, and no broken windows or damaged doors. This raised disturbing questions. If Nancy had been injured, where did it happen? If someone had taken her, how did they do so without causing visible chaos? The absence of disorder suggests that whatever happened was either extremely controlled or extremely brief. Investigators then turned their attention to Nancy's Ring doorbell camera. At some point during the night, the camera stopped recording. There was no indication of a power outage affecting the neighborhood. Authorities believe the device was deliberately disabled. For a woman who lived alone, the camera was a key layer of protection. Its sudden failure removed one of the most important sources of evidence. The lack of footage meant investigators could not determine who approached the house or when. Medical records provide another crucial piece of the timeline. Nancy's pacemaker stopped transmitting data at approximately 2:30 a.m. Pacemakers are designed to send alerts if a patient experiences medical distress. They do not typically stop transmitting without explanation. The sudden silence raised serious concerns. It suggested a major medical event, severe trauma, or outside interference. Combined with the blood evidence and disabled security camera, investigators officially classified the home as a crime scene. Search efforts began immediately. Law enforcement canvassed the neighborhood and surrounding desert terrain. Helicopters searched from above, and canine units attempted to track scent trails. Despite these efforts, no trace of Nancy was found. There were no belongings discarded nearby, and there was no sign that she had wandered off on her own. As the days passed, the lack of evidence only deepened the mystery. Due to the seriousness of the case, federal agencies were brought in. The FBI joined the investigation and assisted local authorities. Border Patrol units also participated in searches due to the terrain and location. The involvement of federal agencies signaled that investigators believed foul play was likely. Despite extensive resources, the case continued to yield few answers. As the investigation continued, reports emerged of alleged ransom demands. According to publicly reported information, messages were received demanding large sums of money, allegedly in cryptocurrency. Authorities have not confirmed the authenticity of these messages. Crucially, no verified proof of life has been provided. Without proof of life, Investigators cannot confirm whether the ransom demands are legitimate or opportunistic. This uncertainty has complicated the investigation and intensified the family's anguish. Nancy's disappearance gained national attention largely due to her daughter, Savannah Guthrie, a prominent television journalist. Savannah stepped away from her professional responsibilities to focus on her mother's case. Alongside her siblings, she made public pleas asking for information and urging anyone with knowledge to come forward. The family emphasized that their only priority was Nancy's safe return. As time passed, their hope remained, but the fear became impossible to ignore. Many critical questions remain unanswered. How did someone enter Nancy's home without obvious signs of forced entry? Why was the security camera disabled? What caused the pacemaker signal to stop? But most importantly, where is Nancy now? Nancy's age and medical needs make long-term survival without assistance unlikely. Yet despite this, no trace of her has been found. Nancy Guthrie did not disappear on her own or accidentally. The evidence left behind suggests deliberate action. An elderly woman vanished from her home. Her safety systems went silent, and the answers remain out of reach. The FBI continues to offer a reward of up to $50,000 for information leading to her recovery or the arrest of those responsible. If you have any information, you are urged to contact authorities. This case is still ongoing, and updates are sure to come. Hello everybody, I am 3C4R3 or Scars, and I had a couple things I wanted to share at the end of the video. First and most important is this case is still ongoing. If you have any information regarding the case of Nancy, please go to your local authority, report everything you know. Again, if you have any information on the case of Nancy Guthrie, please go to your local authority and tell them everything you know. My second part, I wanted to tell you guys is thank you so much for 20 subscribers. It means the world to me as a small YouTuber. Any amount of growth from you guys it just means everything. I'm like I'm about to cry because like it means so much. Like you guys, I get it, 20 subscribers, it's whatever. Oh, that guy is a small YouTuber, but to me that is everything, and I really appreciate everything you guys do for me. I don't want to cry in the video, so thank you guys so much. I really appreciate everything you have done for me. I can't even tell you guys how grateful I am. And thank you. Just thank you for supporting me and being here for me, everyone. Like it's just, I love you guys. Thank you so much. I hope you guys have a beautiful day, and I hope you enjoyed this video so much. I'll see you guys very soon. And again, thank you guys so much. And also again, if you have any information regarding this case, please go to your local authority and tell them. Thank you so much for watching, and for 20 subscribers. I love you guys.